on the other side. Whole new ball game. You can't learn about it in school, and you can't have a late start.
That's right. So let's talk about that, right? It's a whole new ball game. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk, right? And so, I mean, I could play. I don't want to play like all the nauseating, bullshit being said about this guy, about how he's such a, you know, a good person. I could play the clips of him, talking about, how he didn't like Martin Luther King. He thought the Civil Rights Act should be abolished and should have never been passed. How he, basically championed the killing of the people in Palestine and Gaza, right? Somebody should have told him, but let's take a look. Turning Point USA seeks $43 million. Right? Turning Point USA seeks $43 million to escalate the culture war in America. Right? $43 million. Now, goes back to goes back to this.
You can't leave. You a gangster now. You on the other side. Whole new ball game. You can't learn about it in school, and you can't have a late start. Dave, you a gangster now. You on the other side.
Right? Goes back to that. You see? You a gangster now, right? You want to play in the big league with the big boy. You want to run with the big dogs, right? You want to get 40. You want because his budget was $7 million at Turning Point. You want to guess who 60% of his budget was coming from, right? 4.6 million, right, of his budget was coming from Marcus Foundation, right? To focus on Jewish causes based on publicly available information. Had given him almost 5 million, and he had an operating budget of about 7 million at the time of that report, right? So, and he was trying to get 40. So he was at about 7 million, right? He's trying to get another 35 million from these people. 60% of his budget, might as well say, was coming from Jewish donors, right? Zionist Jewish donors to support the state of Israel and the genocide and the racist apartheid state that they run over there. So basically, you're taking millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, right, from these people to do their bidding, to do propaganda for them, for their apartheid state, where they're killing. They've killed to date. This report is being done September 18th, 2025. As of this date, they've killed about 200,000 people and been ruled a genocide by everybody in the whole world, every authority in the whole world, UN, all the human rights groups. The only people who say different is the people like Charlie Kirk, who was taking $43 million, right? Anywhere from 5 to probably $35 million from these people, right? From what we can glean from reports. Now, if you're taking that kind of money from these people, they're gonna demand that you do what they want. You see? At the same time, you're calling for, you're supporting and calling for the killing of hundreds of thousands of people. Okay, you a gangster now, right? Like Carlito told him in Carlito's way. Hey, Dave, you getting into some heavy shit. You a gangster now, right? Somebody should have told y'all. If he didn't know, they should have told him, right? And that goes for a lot of people. Like, you're out here, you're basically egging on a genocide. You're giving weapons. I mean, all the weapons that are killing these 200,000 people would come from the United States, right? You're a gangster now, right? This is dirty, filthy, nasty work. Who? Why do y'all think it's not? I don't understand. How do you think it's not? You can't do this kind of work and say, hey, I'm a good person. I believe in Jesus. When did Jesus tell you to make bunker buster bombs, send them to Israel, give Israelis tens of millions of dollars, and then bomb children and women in tents, claiming you looking for a terrorist? I didn't see that. Last time I checked, that's not in the Bible. But this is what they want to push on the media, and they want to get rid of everybody that, doesn't want to go along with their hypocritical, fake Nazi narrative. Right? But, so somebody should have told Kurt that this is nasty work. This is dirty, filthy, nasty work. But somehow they're confused. They think it's not. They think coming on the news every night, going to colleges, standing up, championing the killing of hundreds of thousands of people makes them good people. Nobody's buying that shit. People got eyes. They don't give a fuck what you say. Nobody gives a fuck with Trump or Megyn Kelly or Charlie Kirk or Sean Hannity or Russ Limbaugh or any of these fucking people say. People got common sense and eyes. Shit is it's 2025. This shit is all over the news. Even though they tried to stop the media from going into Gaza, people know what you're doing to those people. Everybody sees what's happening. Why? Because they could be drug into it at any moment now, because having the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean doesn't save you from hypersonic nuclear weapons. We live in a different age now. So even the dumbest mofo is like, you know what? This is tricky. You see? Even the dumbest mofo in the world knows this is tricky. You see? And so when you're taking tens of millions of dollars from people that are killing hundreds of thousands of children, you're not doing, and then you're basically promoting that as a good thing. Okay, you're a gangster now. You're part of the Nazi regime. You're not a civilian. You see? In the eyes of God. Right? In the world. Right? Everybody knows what these people are doing. You have dirty hands. This is nasty, filthy work. This is not the work of God. This is not the work of good people. I think by any metric, anybody in their right mind can understand that, right? This is nasty work that he was doing, right? And he wanted more money to do it. $43 million. You see? Matter of fact, he got it. At the time of this article, this is 2021. Right? So Charlie Kirk was probably getting $43 million, right? The Trump and line turning point already working to stir up opposition to mass vaccine mandates and creating conflicts with the school board watch list is looking to raise, as of 2021, $43 million to wage a culture war. He was waging more than a culture war. The $43 million ask is close to $20 million more than the group disclosed in revenue in its 2018 IRS filing and $3 million more than its latest 2019. Right? So here's the article. I'll link it in the description. So this is nasty work, right? Very nasty work that this guy was doing. And he was getting like, $40 million from these people. Let's just say 40 million bucks from these, Jewish groups. Probably a few million from white Americans. The gist of it, probably, somewhere 35, 40 million. It was probably coming from Jewish groups, as we can see from this article. And so he was he was basically a propaganda arm of the Israeli government. Because we all know who these people support. So he's basically a propaganda arm of the Israeli government. Turning Point basically is a foreign agency group. I mean, if you're getting $40 million basically from being funneled from these Jewish Israeli citizens, then you're basically a propaganda arm of a foreign operation, a foreign government. This is nasty work that's genociding, has genocided 200,000 people, and the prime minister of this place is wanted by the ICC for crimes against humanity. And you work for them. You're taking $40 million from them to promote genocide. This is nasty work. You're not a civilian. You're not innocent. By no stretch of the imagination would you be considered a good person. You're basically a propagandist in the strain of Joseph Goebbels of the Nazi Third Reich. That's what you are. Let's play it again.
You a gangster now. You on the other side. Whole new ball game. You can't learn about it in school, and you can't have a late start.
See, Charlie got a late start. Charlie got a late start. People like him got a late start. America got a late start. Somehow, I mean, they late. They've been propagandized so much that a lot of them got a late start. They think, well, we're gonna, rah, we're number one at the border of Russia, right? Rah, at the border of Iran, at the border of China, in the age of hypersonic missiles, and all kind and open borders, and this is just gonna be like, business as usual, like it's 1980. It's 2025. Charlie Kirk just found that out the hard way. He got a late start. You didn't realize you was taking money. You was taking tens of millions of dollars from people that had no regard for human life whatsoever. None whatsoever. Don't give a shit about nobody except what they want. And you took $40 million from them and then decided you might want to change your tune. Basically, they funded your whole operation to the tune of $40 million, and you decided you wanted to change your tune. What did you think was going to happen? What do you think was going to happen next? I grew up on the street. I already know. If I took, let's just say I took $40,000 of work for some dudes. When I say work, you know what I mean. Let's say I took $40,000 of work for some dudes and decided, you know what? I'm keeping the money. Right? Maybe we cool, I'm working with them, whatever. I take some work from them. I get under their good graces. They hit me with 40,000 worth of work. I decide not to give it to them. What do you think gonna happen to me? You know what I'm saying? What do you think? What do you think will happen to me? You think it'll turn out good for me if I say, you know what? Yeah, man, listen, fuck y'all. That money I owe you, I'm keeping it. Probably gonna end badly, right? So Charlie Kirk took $40 million from these people and decided, well, I'm my own man. I do whatever I want. You're not the boss of me. This is my organization. And then looks like they was probably running his security team. You want to bet if you look at his security team, who they were? If you look at Charlie Kirk's security team, I bet you money. I bet you $1,000. I can tell you who they were. You could try to trace all of them back to, right? So either just like October the 7th, they just let that shit happen. They was gonna let something happen to him. Just like October the 7th, they stood down in Israel to create that event. Okay, if they did that, you don't think they could stand down Kirk's team if they was in control of them? If they worked for them if they were basically some plants? You don't think they could have told his whole team stand down and let some crazy, weirdo, tranny white man, white kid pop him or set it up or whatever? You see what I'm saying? Either way, he was either way. So if you didn't realize that, you were fucking goofy. Let me just say that. Just like if I took $40,000 worth of work from some dudes and then say, "Yo, I'm not paying you," and they pop me, I would be stupid to think like, "Yo, they ain't gonna do shit to me." Are you crazy? People on the street probably be like, "Dude, are you crazy? You better get those guys their money." The same way with Kirk. You took $43 million from these people, $40 million from these people, and said, "Listen, I'm gonna do whatever I want," while watching them genocide 200,000 people, bomb Qatar, assassinate people all around the world for fun. Lebanon, blowing up pagers in people's pockets. All kinds of wild shit. And you gonna take 40 million from them and then say, you know what? This is my organization. I do whatever I want. Really? And you thought nothing was gonna happen to you. You're not as smart as you claim to be. You're not as smart as you think you are. Like he tried to put himself off as this. He obviously wasn't a smart person. Let's just let's just be clear, right? Let's just get that shit straight. If you did that, you're a goofy, right? Let's just be clear. You a fucking goofy. And everybody should be aware. I think I'm gonna end on this, right? Like everybody should be aware. You reap what you sow. Like I said in the Bible, they claim Charlie Kirk's a Christian, blah blah blah. Okay, well you reap what you sow. That's in the Bible. And Americans should all take a lesson from Charlie Kirk. You are going to reap what you have sown. If you've killed all those bombs that killed those hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza came from the United States. All of the propaganda coming out of Turning Point where they took 40 million from these Israelis. You think it's a coincidence that he got popped like that? No, it's just karma. And you look at his agenda, um, how these people they just don't respect anybody, particularly those small hats. right? And the small hats are trying to just take over. That's going to create a problem, right? And they've created a problem for everybody with this shit. Whether it be Russia, Iran, Gaza, China, whatever. And people have to realize the same effect that it has on Charlie Kirk is going to have on everybody soon. Like Carlito told him, you know what I'm saying? You're not a civilian no more. You're a gangster now, right? You wanted to cheerlead and egg on all of this shit around the world. Whether you in Kansas or Baltimore or Florida or Mississippi or Arizona or Los Angeles or Denver or Washington State. You want to egg on all of this shit around the world. We ain't number one. Got flags, all this bullshit. Sending these dumbass politicians to Washington to push these agendas. Okay, you're not civilians no more. Y'all gangsters. Like Carlito told them. You're not civilians no more. You gangsters. This is not 1920. You live in the age of hypersonic missiles, dummy. And you're involved with some of the most despicable motherfuckers that ever graced the planet. That are dropping bunker buster bombs on children in tents. Just because they can, not because they have to. And you, like Kurt, will find out that's nasty work. You see? That's nasty work. And you can't keep doing nasty work and not get karma. It's no such thing as karma. But these are the same people who read the Bible where it says you reap what you sow. Somehow they don't think that they're going to reap what they have sown. They think somehow those 200,000 dead people in Gaza, killed with those American bombs, egged on by American media and people like Charlie Kirk, will be swept under the rug. And we're just going to go back to life as normal. There is no more normal. Charlie Kirk found that out the hard way. There is no going back to normal with these people. You see? And that nasty, dirty work, you know, that you spread where everybody's involved in this dirty work, well, that dirty work is going to come back to haunt you. Wholesale, not just Charlie Kirk, because he ain't the only one. You got tens of millions of people in America, you see, supporting the work of Charlie Kirk and the different people like that. But they somehow they think that they shielded or whatever. And then when something happens, they try to whitewash it. You see, when you get some blowback from the nasty work that they're doing, they say, well, Charlie Kirk was a Christian. He was a good guy. Well, blah, 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 blah. He was just talking. He was not just talking. Does $43 million look like somebody just talking? Do they give $43 million to you because you're just talking? No. You're supporting the genocide, right? That $43 million backed by 200,000 dead bodies and bombs shooting all over the fucking place, from Russia to Iran to Tehran. Does that seem like people just talking? Or am I stupid? This is way beyond people just talking. When you drop bunker buster bombs on 200,000 fucking children and unarmed women, that is not just talking. I don't know who you're saying that to. You people are doing a lot more than talking. This is nasty work. Just talking is, well, I like Nikes. Well, Adidas is kind of my favorite. Right? That's just talking. You see? Taking $43 million and promoting the murder of hundreds of thousands of people is not just talking. quite obviously, because if it was, no, somebody wouldn't have shot you. Nobody gets really shot for just talking and giving their opinion. You see, it's a lot more to it than that. That's what's called an oversimplification. Okay? So nobody's being fooled by that. You see? The bombs going off and the hundreds of thousands of Russian soldiers dead in Russia, Ukraine border is not coming from just talking. Even though the people behind it are just talking. There are hundreds of thousands of dead bodies cropping up on the Russia-Ukraine border, even though Joe Biden is just talking about it, or Kamala Harris is just talking about it. Right? They're also sending the bombs that are going off in Ukraine and in Gaza and in Iran and in Doha, Qatar. But somehow they tell you, well, we're just talking about this stuff. Hey man, listen, I'm for peace. I'm the Prince of Peace over here. My name's Charlie Kirk, or my name's Joe Biden, or my name's this or that. I'm the Prince of Peace. Hey, shh. Hey, can you send? Yeah, Bill. Yeah, 5 billion. Right, send those $5 billion worth of weapons over there to Israel. How many people got killed? 200,000. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're just talking. Yeah. Send those 3 billion weapons to Ukraine. Right. How many people killed? About 200,000 Russian soldiers, Ukrainians, 300,000. Yeah, okay. No, don't worry about it. We're just talking. Don't worry about it. Send that over there. Anyway, hey, we're just up here talking. I'm the Prince of Peace over here. I mean, who's buying that? You gotta be stupid as shit. I mean, to just have somebody tell you, oh, we're just around here talking. While millions, if not billions of dollars are changing hands. Right? And bunker buster bombs and millions of rounds are being shipped, everywhere. And hundreds of thousands of people are dying. It's not a game. It's not people just talking. You see? It's not people just talking. So, anyway, I'm going to play this one more time. It's not people just talking.
Dave, you a gangster now. You on the other side. Whole new ball game. You can't learn about it in school, and you can't have a late start. Dave,
right?
You a gangster now.
Y'all gangsters now. You gotta understand that, right? Like Carlito told you. You all involved. It's not just talking. You know what I mean? And you should have did something to stop it. It's too late now. It's way too late to stop it now. But you should have did something to stop it when you could. Matter of fact, now I don't even want it to stop. Let it ride. It is what it is. It has to organically play out because we in the end game now. But don't let nobody fool you. Don't be stupid. Right? If you let them drug you into this, regardless of which side you stand on, well, you up to your neck in it. And regardless where you stand, when this whole thing come down, you see, sort of like what Martin Luther King said. Matter of fact, I'll end on that since Charlie Kirk said he disliked Martin Luther King very much. Martin Luther King said, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning house. If you in that house when it burned down, what you think gonna happen to you? Black people, well, anybody, right? See, Charlie Kirk is part of that burning house. He burned down in the house that Martin Luther King was talking about. The man he said he didn't like very much. I dislike Martin Luther King. Well, Martin Luther King gave a prediction about Charlie Kirk that came true. You see, the house is burning down. Charlie Kirk was a victim of that. And also a perpetrator and an arsonist, throwing gasoline on the fire. The key to it is really if you say, well, this house is burning, how do I not burn down with it at this point? But anyway, that's all I got.